Did you believe that the county attorney was obligated and had no discretion to refuse to enter an appearance in this case?
Objection 4.
You can answer.
Okay. I would think that the county attorney has a great latitude to do or not do whatever he or she thinks is correct. So I don't know that there's anything put before a county attorney that he or she could not refuse. I mean, you know, Commissioner's Court can ask her direct, but the county attorney is an independent elected official, and his or her only bosses are the voters.
And so you believe the county attorney's office had the discretion to refuse to move this suit forward after Mr. Best filed the petition. Is that correct?
Yeah, they have discretion, absolute. And I guess this would be prosecutorial in nature, obviously, so that's one thing that a county attorney or any elected prosecutor, as you know, has is absolute prosecutorial discretion. I exercised that when I was in office. Sometimes chief deputy or people at the sheriff's office weren't happy with me, but it was my call, not theirs.
And so in that vein, when you're a county attorney, under normal case circumstances like CPS cases or misdemeanor cases, you may have your CPS caseworker who says, I think you should file this case, and the county attorney has the discretion to say no. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have, your misdemeanor cases, and you have your sheriff's office come to you and say, we believe this case should be filed, and the county attorney has the discretion to say no.
Yes.
And did that occur? Did you say no in those circumstances during your course?
There were times, yes, there were times when I maybe did not file a case. There were times when what I did in resolution of a criminal case that somebody from the sheriff's department disagreed with me, came in and told me so, and it's like, okay, it's not required that you agree with what I do. I did what I thought was right, and I'm sitting in this chair in this office, and I have the responsibility and the obligations and the consequences if I really mess up, and you don't. So.
Would you expect that there would be an independent investigation into allegations supporting any petition that the state of Texas files? Like, let me back up. So, when you, as a county attorney, filed a misdemeanor case, complaint,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Would you have already had an independent investigation done by the sheriff's office supporting that misdemeanor?
Not always. Most of the time, yes, they come to you. I mean, somebody stopped out here or and they're given a ticket or they're arrested for a violation, or somebody stole something and they do an investigation and they figure out who they think did it and they file, etc. But there were times when I was aware of a violation myself.
That you observed personally?
Well, yeah, yes.
Okay.
A couple of instances come to mind of people that were saying they were going to do something that's in violation of the law, and I said, you better not. They went ahead and did it. So I call up whoever I need to come in and file a sworn statement of complaint, and I file an information and I get an arrest warrant and they're arrested. So there's not really an investigation of that because I had personal knowledge of the violation, so did other people. Mm-hmm. But I knew about it and it was a violation. I told them not to do it, they did it anyway. Okay,
you recall
you're going to jail.
An example of that? Not the people, just the type of crime.
Both of them were violations of the Clean Air, because one person was going to how did he put it? Rid himself of an old mobile home, and he called into the sheriff's office and told him, I'm going to do a controlled burn, and then he set fire to the trailer house. And I had told him already, and he had stood in my office door and basically told me I wasn't going to tell him what to do, and I was like, okay. He did it, and I filed on him, and he went to jail. We're friends, believe it or not, because he knew he did wrong. I made him pay for it.
Is it fair to say those circumstances are pretty limited, though,
Yes.
when the county attorney would file based upon not having a sheriff's report or a CPS
Yes.
report? Okay.
Yeah.
And on the CPS side, on the civil side, you would have received some kind of report from CPS that would then enable you to go and file a petition.
Sure. Now, that's accepting hot checks. I mean, they're brought in and there's not an investigation. I mean, you've got the evidence right there. The vendor says, I sold this person this and they gave me this piece of paper and it's worthless.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's an exception. But the other, as far as like somebody setting fire to a trailer house and I told them not to, yes. That probably happened twice during my 20 years.
And in all of those circumstances, the county attorney had the discretion to pursue the case or not?
Yes.